This is a British made-for-TV movie, whatever that means nowadays. I mean, to me, movies are just movies, especially if they star Benedict Cumberbatch. It doesn't really matter where it was made or for what platform. That being said, this does have that TV look, but it fits. It actually plays into it. Because for a while now there's been this new sort of subgenre emerging. And I don't know what you'd call it, but it takes real events, or something inspired by real events, usually involving politics, and then makes this farcical drama about it, with a lot of humor, and sort of pokes fun at the events, points out how ridiculous they are. Take something like the death of Stalin, or even The Big Short. One's political, one's about the housing crash and the stock market, but it's essentially the same concept. Well, this sort of TV look works for that type of movie, because it makes it feel more real and grounded. Like you're actually in the middle of it, or like you're watching a documentary. So I don't actually mind it at all, because this is one of those kind of movies. Obviously about Brexit. Britain leaving the EU. Well, it's actually about the campaign behind it, how they convinced the people to vote to leave. And Benedict Cumberbatch plays the mastermind behind it all. And he's doing some things I don't agree with, but he's so smart, I can't help but to admire it. I mean, this thing goes into detail about how everything was orchestrated, how they managed to pull something like this off. And well, it's all about technology. That's the bigger story here, which I honestly didn't expect. And I don't want to turn this into a political rant or anything, because I loathe politics. But this is actually an important story, because it basically affects everyone. Literally, if you're on the internet, this is probably stuff you should know. It's essentially about how social media and technology, algorithms and machine learning is now influencing the world, and how those things can be used to subtly manipulate billions of people. That's the world we live in now, and I think that's the point the movie is trying to make. This is fact, reality. And we should probably be aware of what's going on. So the next time a vote like this comes around, or a presidential election, or whatever, we're at least aware that this is the world we live in now. And it's been a while since I came away from a movie feeling like I actually learned something useful. But not only is it a fascinating movie in that regard, it's really entertaining too. It's funny, it's well acted, it's fairly fast paced. It's just really good all around. Especially Cumberbatch is perfect in this role. But it's also the writing. It's sharp, it's concise, it condenses a lot of information into something digestible. And that's probably what I like most about movies like this. They find a way to explain details and nuances of something complex, like Brexit or the housing bubble, in a way that's approachable and easy to understand. But at the same time also make it entertaining and funny. And I think that's really valuable, even as a teaching tool, a way of spreading knowledge. I mean, if I were a teacher in school and had to explain Brexit, I'd probably show this movie and then get into the nitty-gritty and expand on it. The same goes for The Big Short and the housing bubble. They might not be 100% accurate, but they explain things in a way that gets the point across. And I personally love that. And it's probably not an easy thing to pull off either. The balance between making it informative, accurate, and entertaining. Because I could easily see a movie like this coming across as boring, but this one definitely isn't. It's probably in my top 3 movies this year. I mean, we're barely into February, so that's not saying much, but still, it's a really solid movie, and I honestly have almost no complaints about it. I mean, it's not perfect, but I wouldn't expect to see a better movie about Brexit anytime soon. But would I recommend it? Definitely. It's fun and informative, so check it out, or don't. But you probably should. However, I'm still not your dad. But I am trying to sell out, so consider liking, subbing, hitting that bell and supporting me on Patreon. Because I really need that fancy British Rolls Royce. And hey, why not drop a comment below and check out another review? I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.